So I watched Annihilation last weekend and it was strange. If there's one word I would use to describe Annihilation, it would be inconsistent. There are so many things in this film that make it stand out, and sometimes where I was amazed at what I was watching, this film seems to have this gimmick that the longer into the movie's runtime we get, the more interesting and thought-provoking stuff happens. Unfortunately, that gimmick seems to stick its nose pretty early into the film, and incredibly harms the first act, which I'll get into during spoiler talk. The inconsistency is everywhere in this film. Sometimes I'm completely drawn into what I'm watching, and other times I am bored out of my mind and uninterested with what I'm looking at. I think the biggest issue is in the acting. These are all very talented actors, Natalie Portman and Tessa Thompson especially, but for some reason here they have absolutely no range and react to everything in the most unrealistic way possible, and a lot of the dialogue in this film is just poorly written and lame. Early in the film, they get attacked by a pretty out-of-the-ordinary creature, and they keep looking at it like I look at the container of my chocolate chip muffins in the morning, like it's something that I'm used to and it's just in my way. Sure, they get spooky scared when the jump scare scene pops in, but besides those and a few notable other scenes, they just have very little expression and range. And yes, the dialogue certainly didn't help, but again, I'll get into spoiler talk for more details on that. I can't really get into more details about this film before the spoiler section, but I really don't want to come off like I hate this film. The 5 out of 10 I'm giving it is a very good 5. The stuff in this film that is great is great. Everything in the last 30 minutes is certainly worth the experience, with very creative visuals and tense moments that will stick to you when you leave the theater. I'm about to get into spoiler talk, so if you don't want to hear that, just skip to this time in the video. There's your warning. 3, 2, 1. So I really wanted to go in detail about how awful the first 30 minutes of this film is compared to the last 30 minutes. The connection between all of our main characters was incredibly rushed. Natalie Portman meets them at a table, they say we are going into the Shimmer, and she just kinda joins them. Sure, we learn more about them as the adventure goes on, but we only seem to learn more about them moments before they die. It seems like the writers wanted to make really cool death scene moments, but forgot to actually add characters to them, because all these girls' personalities are pretty copy and paste. Also, I really hope I wasn't the only one rolling my eyes at how they try to connect Natalie's character and her husband. Again, what they did with them at the end was not only unique, but made you care about their connection. What didn't connect me was them tickling each other early in the movie and then saying something corny about the stars. I can't stand when movie writers do this because I feel like it's a lazy way to make you see a character as a good person. You can't make a character out of bootleg Bible verses. Also, the completely unnecessary scenes with her affair. Not only was it weird for the pacing, but it added nothing to the story. Also, it just added another character that felt like a prop. Again, there were fantastic things in this film. The visuals, the CGI, and all the practical effects were very consistent in their quality. The ending was trippy and thought-provoking in all the best ways. That screaming bear was awesome, and I can't wait to watch that scene specifically again. Most of the horror and gore is done in a way that doesn't feel cheap, and the soundtrack was phenomenal, with the theme that is in the trailer that I was really happy to see how they used in this film. I do recommend seeing this film, but I promise there is nothing wrong with being a little late to it. If I ever watch it again, I'm definitely going to be skipping the first 40 minutes or so. And I'm giving this a very good 5 out of 10.